Let's bake sourdough bread. Today, I will be showing you how to bake a sourdough bread and add inclusions like color to it. I start with adding 100 grams of starter, I then add 350 grams of lukewarm water. Why I add lukewarm water is because that helps to speed up my bulk fermentation. I mix this mixture well. After I'm done mixing, I add 5 grams of barley grass. Now this barley grass gives a nice green color to my bread. Why do I add the color before I add the flour is because this helps to incorporate it well when I mix in the flour. I then add 495 grams of flour. I reduced the 5 grams because I added 5 grams of barley grass as my color for the bread. I then mix it well. After I've mixed this, I keep aside salt. I take about 10 grams of salt. I usually like to use Himalayan pink salt because it has a unique taste and it complements the bread. I then add in the salt after 45 minutes. And I hand mix this all together. I let the dough rest for another 30 minutes and then I do my first set of folds. My first set of folds are always stretch and fold. Why I use stretch and fold method in the beginning is because the gluten structure is not strong yet, and the stretch and fold helps the bread to calm down and build its structure. I keep this aside for 30 minutes. My second fold is always a coil fold. I remove the sides of the bread so that it makes it easier for me to do the coil fold. I then let it rest for another 30 minutes. I repeat this process 2 more times, so altogether I have 4 folds, the first one being stretch and fold, and the rest 3 being coil folds. As you see a few bubbles already on my dough, which is a good sign. After this, I wait another 30 minutes for my last fold. It's time for the final coil fold. After the fourth fold, I would recommend to keep a thermometer handy. This is an instant read meter, and if you don't have one, I would recommend you to touch the dough and see if you find it cold or warm. This way you can determine if your dough is going to take a longer time for bulk fermentation or a shorter time. My dough temperature reads 25.8, so it's pretty warm, and I know that my bulk fermentation time is not long. It took only about 3 hours since I rested my dough, and then I checked if the dough is sticky and for the sides and the bottom. It had a slight dome, but since it was warmer, I already prepared it for cold proof. It's not very clear, but you do see the bubbles at the sides, and we will see how it looks tomorrow. Now for the cold proof, I prepare my workbench. I toss some rice flour, and then I flip my bowl over. As you see, the dough is leaving the bowl very easily, and it also lets the bowl clean. This is a good sign because that shows that your dough is ready. This is how I pre-shape my dough. I take the top and fold it in. I stretch the two sides and wrap them in like a blanket. And I repeat this process on the other side as well. And then I try to roll it into a ball, but if your dough is sticky, use a scraper. That'll help to push in the rice flour from the bottom. Then you pinch the sides of the dough. And bring it together. I also add some rice flour into my banneton. That way the dough doesn't stick to the bottom of my banneton. I then take the dough as is with a bench scraper and place it in my banneton. Many people like to wait in this step and do the stitches after 10 minutes, but I always do it immediately after I place my dough in the banneton. I do this way because it has always worked for me, but you can choose definitely what you like. This is how my dough looks after stitching. I use a shower cap to cover the top, but if you don't like plastic, you can absolutely use a cloth and cover it tight. Then you keep it in the fridge overnight for cold fermentation, and we see how it looks in the morning. Stay tuned.